In May 1928, the city of Jinan became a battlefield. Japanese troops clashed with Chinese Nationalist forces, and amid the chaos stood one man who chose diplomacy over submission. His name was Cai Gongshi, China's Consul General in Jinan. He tried to defend peace and sovereignty, and was tortured to death by the Japanese army. But to understand the depth of this tragedy, we must look back just a few years earlier, when China had shown Japan nothing but kindness. In 1923, Japan was struck by the Great Kantō Earthquake, one of the deadliest disasters in its history. Over 100,000 people died, and cities like Tokyo and Yokohama were left in ruins. The Chinese government, along with countless ordinary Chinese citizens, launched donation drives to help Japan rebuild. Money, food, and medical supplies were sent across the sea, a heartfelt act of compassion between neighbors. But as shocking as it sounds, while China was sending aid, Japanese mobs in Tokyo and Yokohama were murdering Chinese and Korean residents, falsely accusing them of spreading poison or starting fires. Thousands of Koreans and hundreds of Chinese were beaten, stabbed, or decapitated in the streets, while the world remained silent. Just 5 years later, Japan would again butcher Chinese lives, this time on Chinese soil, in Jinan, Shandong province. In 1928, China was still divided by warlords. The nationalist army under Chiang Kai-shek was marching north to unify the nation during the Northern Expedition. Japan, determined to maintain its hold on Shandong, stationed troops in Jinan, claiming to protect Japanese citizens. Although Jinan was a Chinese city, the Japanese treated it as their own concession. That's why Cai Gongshi, the Chinese government's envoy, was based there. His consulate served as a special diplomatic office to negotiate with foreign powers and defend Chinese sovereignty in a city under foreign pressure. When the nationalist army entered Jinan, Japanese troops clashed with them. What began as a skirmish erupted into a massacre known as the Jinan Incident. Japanese soldiers rampaged through the city, butchering civilians and prisoners alike. Records show that at least 6,000 Chinese soldiers and civilians were killed, with over 1,700 wounded. Homes burned, families executed, and bodies left in the streets. And in the middle of this storm stood Cai Gongshi, the diplomat who refused to abandon his post. On May 3, 1928, Japanese troops surrounded the Chinese consulate. Cai Gongshi and his aides were arrested, accused of insulting the Japanese army. Then came one of the most gruesome acts of cruelty in modern diplomatic history. Eyewitnesses described the horror: fingers cut off, ears severed, nose sliced off, eyes gouged out, tongue torn, throat slit. Their mutilated bodies were left on display, a deliberate message of terror from the occupiers. Cai Gongshi was 55 years old, a veteran diplomat who had served China across Europe and Asia. He could have fled when fighting began, but he stayed to protect his countrymen. His murder shocked China and enraged the public. Many remembered bitterly. Only a few years earlier, China had raised donations and sent relief to help Japan after the earthquake. And now, Japan repaid that compassion with massacre and mutilation. The Jinan Incident became a turning point, a warning of the full-scale invasion and atrocities yet to come. Cai Gongshi's name stands as a symbol of unbroken dignity. He lost his eyes, ears, and tongue, but not his voice in history. Cai Gongshi, the diplomat who refused to bow and died for China's honor.